Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Whitney, Crafty Thoughts and Whatnots here, and today I've got 5 Easter Farmhouse DIYs. Well, you can see 6 here because technically that little bunny up front doesn't count, but it's just a cute little fast one. You guys will see it at the very end, so I just want to hurry up and jump in. Now, I posted on my community tab and then as well as in my Instagram account these little crochet eggs, and as you can see I had a little bit too much fun making them, as I have a whole bucket full of them. But they were simple, easy. All it is a single crochet and some polyfill, and they're just too adorable to not make. So I'm going to go through and show you guys kind of what it takes. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but just the basics. So you're going to need a darning needle or a thread needle, yarn needle, and then a stitch marker. And then, of course, that's a stitch marker. There's a needle. And then, of course, any of that. Now, the recipe, yeah. I'm using an F5 3.75 millimeter hook because it called for a 4 millimeter hook, which I didn't have. So, again, the YouTube tutorial by MJ Carlos for the magic ring I'm using here, that's how we're starting it. I'm going to link that in the description below so you guys can see what I used in order to refresh my memory. It's been a while since I've crocheted. But you need to start with the magic ring. And that's going to be basically, we're going to create this little circle that we're going to put our first row of stitches in, and then it's going to magically close on itself, which is why it's called a magic ring. It's pretty awesome. So click down in the description to look for the link to that video, because that person has made an awesome video on 2 different techniques on how to do a magic ring. So if one doesn't work for you, then the other one will. So here I'm putting 6 single crochets on the magic ring, and then I'm going to slow it down real quick just to show you guys. All you have to do once you get those 6 stitches in there is pull on your tail, and abracadabra, ta-da, it closed. So there's no open hole in the middle. If you're not a crocheter, you're going to want to skip this whole section because it's going to be lots of talk. Lots and lots of crochet talk. But anyways, we're not putting a stitch marker on the stitch until we're starting the next row. So every row you have to make sure you use that stitch marker. At first I was like kind of annoyed because I don't like using them. I have fingernails, they're a little bit difficult to get in there, but by the, I don't know, 3rd or 4th time I did it, I was getting a hang of it. But again, my fingernails get in the way a lot. So you're marking the first stitch of the row you're starting. So that way you know when you come around to hitting that stitch that has the marker in it, you've finished it. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail because here you can see again the YouTube tutorial I used is by Be Hooked in Crochet and Knitting. That is also in my description for this exact pattern on these eggs. She goes into such wonderful detail. She gives you close-up shots. She gives you all of the correct terminology. I am not a professional. I am not... I mean, I could say I'm experienced because I've been crocheting since I was a teenager. I am in my 40s now. But the point is that I am not a tutorial for... I'm not a tutorial person to give you. I'm not... Let's start over and put words into sentences today, Whitney. I am not the best person to give you a tutorial on crocheting. I don't even hold my hook correctly. This is just how I was taught when I was a teenager. I have tried to change it, and it's just not, it's not in the cards, guys. It's not going to happen. No potato. Know what I'm saying? So in any event, we are going to do all of these first 5 rows are all increase rows. So I'm speeding this all up because you guys don't, all it is everything is a single crochet. You're going to double up the rows, you're increasing the first 5, and this is pretty much it. Lots and lots and lots of hooking. Now, when you get to the 5 rows where you're no longer increasing, I find it very easy to keep track with like a tally sheet. So there are rows 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 are all identical. And just so that I don't lose track and I don't have to keep counting, which I still will do with my fingernails, you guys will see me counting these rows. So I just completed row 7. And now I need to do 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And they are all identical, no increases. It's just a single crochet all the way around. So I found it easy. I had a notebook in my office when I was crocheting all these eggs, guys. I was just going at things and listening to podcasts and talking with friends and stuff and doing bills and things. And then I would write down my markers. So here's one crochet row all the way around. And then when you stop, I would do the next row, take the stitch marker out, put the new stitch in, put the stitch marker immediately back in, and then check off that row on my little tally sheet. So I did that for all of those 6 rows. After that, there's not much left to the egg. So once you get the solid rows done, you have 2 rows of decreasing, and then it's time to stuff the egg. And then literally after that, 1 row and you're done. You're basically closing it up. So here I'm showing you, I finished it out. This is what it starts to look like an egg while you're holding it. So here are the decreasing rows. This is what we got so far. It looks kind of strange. So yeah, I'm showing here, guys, I'm done. I clicked them all. I checked them all. And this is what we call a pen and paper, folks. So anyways, not sure why I did not speed this up. Okay, there we go. So now we're going to decrease rows. So then we'll be crocheting 2 together. And it gets a little tight. It gets a little... It looks like you're pulling on your thread or your yarn a little bit too much, but don't worry if it looks like you've got really big holes in it. They will even themselves out, especially if, you know, after you stuff it with the polyfill, you massage it a little bit, your eggs are going to look just fine. So the next 2 rows are decreasing rows, and you'll start to see the top of it kind of pull in on itself. Now, your second to last row here, it gets even tighter because we're decreasing every other stitch. So instead of 3 stitches, you're turning 3 stitches into 2. So you're decreasing, and it gets a little tight. I got kind of, you know, sausage fingers here, but at the same time, I've been used to this. I've been crocheting for a long time, so it gets easier. All right, and here's where we are actually getting to the part where we're actually going to fill it with the polyfill. So you can see your egg's pretty much taking shape. We're going to stuff it with some polyfill. You could also use something from an old pillow or maybe an old stuffed animal that your kids are no longer using, and just something in general. Or just remember that you could have some holes in your egg and you might see through them. So you're going to want to put something in there that won't necessarily be too much of an eyesore. But we are going to cover up some of the holes with the tails at the end. So you just fill it for what you feel like it looks like. Now you'll see all my eggs are different sizes. They're not all going to be the same because I use different weight yarn. Some of the yarn's thicker, some of it's thinner. And again, the hook that I'm using is just the hook that I had closest to what the pattern calls for. So all my eggs are different sizes, but that's okay because all eggs are different sizes when you buy them in the grocery store, right? Sometimes you get all 12 of them are jumbos. Like, I paid for jumbo, I want jumbo eggs. And if they're not jumbo, we're going to go back and we're going to get jumbo eggs. Anyway, so now this is the very last row, and all it is every single one is a crochet 2 together. So we're single crocheting, decreasing it all the way to the end, and then you're going to slip stitch it into your first stitch that your stitch marker is still in, and then you're done. So pull that slip stitch through, then we can take out our stitch marker because we don't need it anymore. And now you're going to get your darning needle or your yarn needle, kind of squish it a little bit like a little football, massage it out, make it look like an egg. And then I'm going to thread the yarn through my needle. And now we're going to use the tail to cover up some of the holes. Now in her pattern, which you can take a look at, make sure you go through her tutorial. It's very informative and it's perfect. I loved it. I'm just going in any random way just to make it look like I'm not threading through in a big circle so you can't see it, but I'm covering up some of the larger holes so you can't see through the bottom. What I'm doing with these eggs, we are not going to see the bottoms of them because I'm going to set them in a tray, and then other ones I'm going to make a topiary out of. But then I'd like to take the tail and shove it right through the middle, pull it out the top, cut it, and then we're done. So now we're going to put them all in a cute little tray, and then I'm going to show you guys how I make this tray. It's so cute, you're going to love it. I mean, look how cute they are together. Aren't they cute, guys? It's just, I love all these little pastel colors, and they look all cute together, just lined up. It was like that little box was meant for them. They fit perfectly. So now what we're going to do is we're going to make this box beautiful because, you know, also I may have made a few extras. Just saying. Again, it's addicting to crochet those things. So here's our little tray. Got it at Dollar Tree when everything was still $1. We're going to chalk paint it white. Guys, everything today is getting chalk painted white. Pretty much, if it was wood, I chalk painted it white with the home... what is it? The Folk Art Home Decor something. It's just white chalk paint from Folk Art. You can see my big old thing. I've had it there. I'm not going to have you watch me paint everything. Everything took one coat. You can see my little pile there. But I forgot to put these little feet on before I painted it. So I'm going to use my Star Bond. It's a medium hold, and then I have the accelerator there. It works really good on wood. It works awesome on everything, actually. Plastic, wood, glass, metal, you name it. I love that Star Bond stuff. So I'm just putting the actual super glue on the wood foot or finial or knob, and then I spray the the accelerator onto the box, place those little legs down, and within seconds, those are its new permanent home. Those things aren't coming off. So I'm going to put my glue away, and now I'm going to paint the feet. So again, I forgot to put that on before I painted the box, but no harm, no foul. Everything will be okay. Just paint it in the order it was applied. So, painting the feet white. Painting the feet white. It's just like painting the roses red. So here we go, one coat. Now I'm going to take my Apple Barrel Country Tan, and I'm going to distress this box. Obviously you can see my brush has some gray in it because this isn't the exact order I painted things in, but it's the order I'm putting it in for the video, so it is what it is. Anyways, there's no rhyme or reason to what I'm doing, guys. When I dry brush, it's a chip brush that I got off of Amazon. I have a package of them there in my Amazon store, should you choose to take a peek at that if you want to use some of the same products. Amazon does give me a small commission for most of the sales, and every little tiny bit counts. Every 11 cents makes a difference. You too can help a crafter today make more videos. I'm kidding. Anyways, I'm literally just running through this, and I'm just rubbing this. It's not wax, so I have to remember that this isn't going to come off as easily as like the antique wax or the Waverly wax. This is still an acrylic paint. Now the baby wipes work amazing because they have like different lotions and oils in them that help things kind of like move around more fluidly, and then I just kind of attack the corners, and then look how cute this box is after everything is dry. I'm gonna pick it up in a second, right? There we go. I just kind of like hit the corners a little bit harder than the rest of it, and I love how it aged it. Just a cute light little dusting. So now we're going to add some jute twine to the side. I got this at Lowe's many years ago, or at least a year ago. This is a leftover bush of spring greenery. That's a Michael's tag. And then there's my bucket of eggs. So I'm going to take the jute twine and I'm going to glue down one piece. And I am going to wrap it around our little tray in a haphazard? Or is it haphazard or haphazard? What is that, guys? Is it HAP or HALF? What is it? Haphazard? Am I wrong? Anyways, I'm going at it kind of crazy, and I'm making it crooked on purpose. Let's do it that way. And then I'm just going to... I put it towards one corner so it kind of looks the same. And then right now I'm going to make a bow by just wrapping this twine around my 4 fingers on my hand. So wrap the twine around all 4 of your fingers. I'm doing this 8 times. For a smaller bow, you cut another piece off, and then pull those off your hands and pinch them in the middle. You saw how I kind of gathered it and pinched it in the middle? Now I'm wrapping that extra piece of twine around the middle 1 or 2 times, and then I'm going to tie it in a knot on the back. And for this bow, I cut the tails off because I didn't want any tails. I just wanted a cute little bow right in the center, and you're going to see me kind of move some of those twine strands out so I can glue it literally right in the middle, so it's glued to the box and the other strands of jute twine. And then I got to use a little tool here. I'm just tucking in those little ends that I cut off earlier. That way they're not showing. And then our little bucket is done. Isn't she cute? I love it. It's just simple little twine. Now we can put our eggs in here, and again, any pattern you want. Now I'm specifically doing these in the pastels. I think they're so cute together, and that little jute twine adds like the perfect contrast. So now this little bundle of greenery that I got at Michael's, I'm not going to glue anything in. I'm just cutting them off the stems. I'm kind of bending them down so they kind of go under the eggs, and I'm just tucking it in and around the eggs. I'm just adding it to areas where I think would look nice, like a cute little, like almost like wildflowers, like you went outside and picked them, and it's just screams spring and Easter and happiness. It just makes me happy to see something so bright and clean, clean and cute. Now you're going to see here, look how cute it is. I love it. You're going to see here I added some extra leaves. I found a couple tulip leaves like on the floor or something, and I just tucked them in there because I can. You guys tell me what you think. Isn't it the cutest thing ever? Did you guys like these crochet eggs? Did you plan on making any? I know this video is a little bit too close to Easter, but hey man, better late than ever. So I love how this turned out, and I actually have it on my table out in my living room, and my husband noticed it, thinks it's cute, and he's a man, and he's colorblind, but anyways, he loved it. He said, hey, I saw that little tray with the eggs we crocheted in. It looks really cute. I was like, oh, thanks. So next DIY, this is a cute little wooden egg I got from Target, not the dollar spot. I think I saw it on an end cap, so I grabbed it. It's got a lot of good weight to it, so it was $5, but it was worth every penny of it. So I'm sanding off some of that adhesive, and guess what color we're gonna paint it, guys? Take a guess. Just take a wild guess. You're right. It's gonna be white. Shocker. Painted it white. Everything took one coat, so I'm not gonna have you painfully watch me paint this whole thing white and let it dry. But this one, guys, this was my favorite of all. This was my absolute favorite DIY of all 6 of these, because I was using these rub-on transfers that I had never used before, and I am addicted. That's my new thing now. So I'm gonna first, before I get way ahead of myself because I'm happy, this is Craft Smart Silver Gray acrylic paint. I'm going to use this in my chip brush to lightly dry brush. And just give it some texture, give it some dimension. Put a little bit too much on, in my opinion, for the front of it. And it's like, wait a minute. So again, those baby wipes come in handy while you're painting. So on one side, because this does have a front and a back, I'm going to make it lighter. And then on the back here, I'm kind of going to go ham and just kind of grind some chunks in pieces and make it look really, really distressed on the back. So that way I know that's the back. And that's it for the painting part of it. I'm going to put these transfers on it, and I don't want it to kind of overpower it, you know? I want the rub-on transfers to be the main event. And let me tell you guys, I am in love. They are gorgeous. So there's the back. And then I'm going to flip it over and show you the front. Now these transfers are amazing. I got them off of Amazon, so they are linked in my Amazon shop, and that is in the description and pinned to the first comment below. I'm going to vacuum this off because I want to make sure that I have a clean, perfectly clean, smooth surface to put those rub-on transfers on. So, what we are going to do here is, I got a butterfly set, and then I got this like botanical set. That's the little rub-on transfer like wooden piece they give you in each box, or in each bag. So I got one butterfly set, and then I got a botanical, this is Botanical Paradise set. They are gorgeous, guys, and I had so much fun doing this. I can't explain to you how much dang fun it was. So I decided to go with this pretty pink and brown one because for some reason I was going pastel, and it almost has a French country feel to it. It's very pink pastel-y, very feminine, very soft, and again, these things look gorgeous. So I'm going to put that butterfly right there on the side, and then I'm going to open up these girls here, and I'm going to take out some flowers. I got some pink ideas here. I could see on the back what I got, so I knew which flower I was going after. And I'm going to cut those out. Now, I got this idea from Sammy from Unicorn Dust Designs because she had purchased and she had done a video where she was using IOD transfers, so Iron Orchid Design transfers. I purchased some as well, so I have a very big lemon project coming up that I will be using their transfers on. So I've watched their videos on how they suggest to use their products. I applied those rules to these transfers. I don't know if they're the same, but I'm just going to do them that way because they sell very good products. So cut your transfers out, the ones you want to use. You're going to peel them off, place them down where you want them, and you're going to use your it's like burnishing. You're going to use your little your rub-on tool, and you're going to apply a lot of pressure. And then as they come off, you can test them. I put some cuts in the plastic to get the wings to fold over. So if you have corners or pieces or edges, you can fold them over very easily by just cutting the plastic around it, and then it will fold over in any corner. This was so effortless, guys. I had no problems. I didn't have anything sticking. I had nothing, and it looks hand-painted. It's absolutely gorgeous. Now I'm taking the piece that was on the top, and I'm rubbing over the top of it, and they call that burnishing. So burnish your transfer once you're finished. I'm not sure if it's some sort of polishing technique or a finishing technique, because again, this is my maiden voyage, guys. You guys are watching my first stab at rub-on transfers, and let me tell you, I am in love. I am so happy even just watching this over and over again. And let me tell you, I just got a pretty upsetting reality check because I just recorded this whole video for my voice recording and I wasn't recording. So this is my second time doing this, and this video is an hour long, so I'm a little frazzled, forgetting what I said the first time, but I get to watch this again, and once again, this is so much fun, and the creativity that you get to use. The transfers are beautiful, and these are Amazon transfers. Okay, I don't even know what brand they are. You can take a look in my Amazon shop to see them. But I ended up cutting more from that botanical pack of wording, and I can't read the wording, so I don't know if it's even in English, but I put wording on there. I've got some berries I'm going to put in different sides, but you also see me here. I'm changing some of my placement and ideas of where I want to put things because I'm going to put some twine around the middle of it, and I know for sure I wanted to kind of put that. You can overlap them, and it's beautiful. So your ideas are, or your project is only limited by what you do. It's only limited to the ideas you have. I started cutting things and layering things, and I was going crazy, and I was having so much fun doing it. I lost track of time, and then once I was done with the egg, I was sad because I wanted to do so many more rub-on transfer projects. And then I thought, what else do I have that I can put transfers on? And then the music started. The music in my head started, and the ideas and the juices were flowing, and I was like, okay, I got to put all these things. So I'm trying to like lay out ideas with all the things I plan on putting transfers on. So I've got wooden boxes and crates and chargers and all kinds of ideas coming at you guys. You're going to be so tired of rub-on transfer videos. Just wait. But it's making me happy. So I'm about to be a happy girl. And then I hope you guys will be happy too. Anybody have a rub-on transfers experience, or anybody use those before? Again, this is my first time, and I'm loving every second of it. It's just so much fun to create and throw these colors together. Just makes me happy. What do you guys think? Look at that. Doesn't it look hand painted? I mean, I keep saying the same thing over and over again, but it's absolutely gorgeous. And sometimes I think these lightings, and even though this video is, it's a high res camera, it doesn't do it justice. So I bought the wax. That's Folk Art furniture wax. I bought that because IOD transfers suggest you need to seal your transfers. So I will put the wax on. I also got those brushes, but I'm not going to recommend those brushes because they shed and they were not my favorite. So anyways, just use a brush. Now you have to let that wax dry for like 2 hours at minimum, and then you can use a cloth to buff it. I did not buff it because I did not want it to become shiny. So you can definitely tell it's no longer waxy to the feel. It's not sticky. The wax was dried for the minimum amount of time. I did other things, painted other things, recorded other parts of this video, and then when I came back to it, the wax was done. So now we're going to glue on. I've got some soft pink satin ribbon, and that's the jute twine that you get at the Dollar Tree in the automotive section. It's a pretty thin jute twine, but then as I was wrapping it here in my weird haphazard way, the jute twine had these big old like thick pieces to it, so I had to unwind this jute twine for a decent amount. Okay, first I cut that out, and then I'm like, oh nope, there's another chunk right here. So let me sit down and take care of this, and then of course tangle everything up. So I had to cut it out and then start new because I didn't want the big chunky pieces on the project. It just didn't look cute to me. So we're going to put those two strands together. We're going to put a little hot glue down first. I'm going to use my little silicone spatula, let that harden. And now we're going to do, again, wrap them together. I'm holding them at the same time so that I'm doing double duty. And wrap them around like 4 times in just completely crooked patterns across themselves. And then put some more hot glue down and secure it to the back. And you could pretty much leave it like this. It is gorgeous on its own. I'm going to add another part to the front. I'm going to put a bow on it because, you know, I have to. Otherwise I can't breathe. Life is not complete unless I add florals or ribbon to something. And even then, look how cute that is by itself. You don't have to add anything else to it. I think it's cute the way it is, but guess what I'm going to do? We're going to be extra today. By the way, this video is going to be full of absolutely horrible puns. Egg puns. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to do another hand bow where I'm going to take that satin ribbon, I'm going to twist it around all 4 of my fingers. I'm going to do it 8 times. Here I thought that I could keep the ribbon straight. Silly, silly, silly Whitney. Anyways, wrap it around 8 times, cut it, pull it off your fingers, pinch it in the middle. And I'm going to take some of that jute twine that the jute twine that I cut off that had like the chunky pieces in it. And I'm going to tie it around the middle of our satin bow. And then that's just going to be the middle of it. And then I'm going to tie it in a knot. And that way I've got the same two elements that we wrapped around the egg will be used in the bow. So everything is tied together. But I just think that the satin part of the bow loops makes it look very, very soft and feminine. It adds more to it, in my opinion, and I absolutely love the way this turns out. So I'm going to leave the little tails a little bit longer, and I'm going to twist them through the pieces that are already on the egg. So you're going to see me pull the twine around the back. I'm basically going to tie the bow to the twine that's already on the egg. So I'm going to put the tails behind the cord and the ribbon, and then feed the other side up underneath it and tie that in a knot. And then I'm going to put just a tiny bit of glue onto the top of it just to secure that down. Then I'm going to mess around and fluff and mess with those cute little satin ribbon loops. But I'm leaving the tails on. I think it complements it nicely. And there's little tails in the satin part too. And then just a tiny little bit of glue right there just to secure it. And she's done. And I am absolutely in love with it. This is my favorite one. I keep staring at it. It's just one of those things where you guys know you finish a project and you know it's going to be one of your favorite ones for a long time. It's my first time and it turned out so well. And that now I'm kind of obsessed. Not kind of, I am definitely obsessed with rub-on transfers. The options are endless for me for this now. I have so many ideas and so many possibilities. And now I'm going to go back to Dollar Tree and get some rub-on transfers. Because I've seen people use them, but I've never picked them up. So we're about to have a rub-on transfer party. It's like rub-on transfer palooza. Over here on Crafty Thoughts. Y'all are going to be so tired of them. Just wait. Just wait. I am apologizing in advance. That's not true. I'm not apologizing for anything. Look how pretty she is. You guys let me know in the comments, do you have any other techniques or tips, or did I do anything that you guys would maybe suggest differently, or any ideas you could do that would help anybody else out, including me, anything new? Leave them in the comments below. I love all of your ideas. You guys help out so much. It's so much fun to share these things with each other. So here's our next one, next DIY. This is it's going to be a little bunny crate. So this is a crate from Dollar Tree. Guess what color I'm painting it? Yeah, it's white. No shocker there. I mean, you didn't bet money, did you? Because, yeah, I'm painting it white. I'm painting everything white today. So at some point, I hope I'm not actually going to leave all of that in here. I edited this earlier. I thought I took it out. But yeah, we're going to paint it white. Get in all the crevices, get in all the grooves. Which those Dollar Tree crates and those palette things, they're not easy to paint. Kind of a little tedious, but... So we painted her white, and look at the little bunny board we got from Target. I'm going to put the crate on the front of the bunny board and use the bunny as like our little, like a bookend almost. It's going to stand up. It's so cute. So I'm going to distress our crate with Apple Barrel Country Tan. It's the same color I used on the little tray that we put our crochet eggs in. So cute. I'm going to hit the corners pretty hard like I did on the tray. And then I'm going to go a little bit overboard with this paint. You guys are going to watch me put it here. And now I grabbed my baby wipe, but I think the baby wipe wasn't wet enough anymore. You can actually see it's the color of the paint from when I was making the tray earlier. So I kind of went a little bit too hard on it, and I couldn't get most of it off. So you're going to see me hit these corners pretty hard, and then at some point, Whitney, there we go. I'm trying to wipe some of it off just to get it looking more like antiqued. And then I'm not pulling enough of it off, so... We're going to go back and get our leftover white paint we were using earlier, and we're going to try to correct it. And I like the way it turns out because it's like it puts a nice frosty, very farmhouse effect to the crate, and I love how it turns out. So I'm just kind of trying to fix my mistake. And then I think I only went through it just like lightly with some more tan before I finished it and let it dry. So we're going to glue this to our little bunny, and that's a charcuterie board from Target's Dollar Spot. It was a $5 charcuterie board, but I had to have it. Its ears are so cute. Now I also want it to be crooked. I don't want the bunny to sit straight up. I want my bunny's ears to be diagonally left or right. So I grabbed a Sharpie, because it's the only thing I had. And you'll see when I move the crate off to the side, that is definitely going to make our bunny not sit up completely straight. It's not completely vertical left, up and down the way it should be. I wanted our ears to be kind of off to the left. I love putting things at diagonals. I don't know why. Wood glue, I'm going to use my finger, so get ready, guys. I don't know. Some people have issues with you using your fingers. For me, it's the best way to spread it out, and it doesn't squish out when you put down your project, because wood glue, when it squishes out, it dries yellow and it looks horrible. So I usually use my finger to spread out a thin layer. I put my hot glue on the sides because I got double duty for immediate hold and then long-term hold. And then once it's dry, look how cute it is. See how it sits at a diagonal? I love it. So I have a piece of styrofoam I cut to fit, and now in order to hide the styrofoam from the slats in the crates, we're going to cut I eyeballed it sort of kind of to see if it would fit. And then I realized I need another piece, so I cut a longer piece of burlap. What am I saying, styrofoam? It's burlap, guys. That's 6-inch wide burlap I got at Michael's many years ago. I have like 50,000 rolls of it, literally 50,000 rolls. I do. It's everywhere. So I cut 2 pieces. You see here easily. I put them in a cross pattern. I put my styrofoam in the middle, and that is not coming out. See, I shook it upside down, so I'm not gluing it in. Also, I forgot to take my tag off, so you're going to see me 5 seconds use a heat gun because that tag was being very, very difficult. Now we're going to fill the crate with Hobby Lobby Spanish moss. This is a bright green color, and it's perfect for spring and summer. It's gorgeous. I'm going to open up that burlap, and I'm just going to tuck that Spanish moss right into our little crate there, right on top, so it looks like a cute little, garden bucket. Now, we're going to put a bow on the ears because this is going to be a girl bow, a girl bunny. And the green ribbon with the orange carrots I got on Amazon, and the 2 bags of carrots you see there, those are purchases I just made recently on Amazon. They are linked in my Amazon store, so if you wanted to buy them, I know we're very close to Easter, so it's almost kind of moot to do it. And then that little extra tiny ribbon I got at Michael's year before last, so that's just a little Michael's ribbon. Now, I'm going to make a small little bow for the ear. So I'm going to cut a strip, and then I'm making literally a 1-loop bow. And I'm going to put it right above that ear right there. So the best way I can describe this is that I'm going to make like an awareness ribbon type shape. And then what you do from there is just kind of squish it into itself. And then here I'm going to do the same thing with the smaller ribbon. And I'm going to put that in the middle of our bigger green bow. So there's the awareness ribbon. And you see how you can kind of squish it together. By the way, I'm going to do this like 10 more times in the rest of this video. So if you're missing out on it now, you'll see it again on many of the other projects. It's very easy to see. And even you're going to see it right now. Here I was trying to do something a lot fancier and that didn't work out. So I'm just going to blah, 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 start over. I'm going to end up cutting just a strip. Cut a strip of ribbon. It doesn't matter how long it is. Sometimes it helps with actually forming it. Cut that off there and then place that right in the center of your green bow or your smaller bow. And then now I'm going to do the jute twine and I'm going to wrap it around the middle. So one over the top and then over the bottom, flip it over, and I'm going to tie it in a knot in the back. And then guess what, guys? I'm going to make another hand bow and put that right in the center because, of course, what is life if you don't have more jute? Everybody needs jute twine. Wrap it around all 4 fingers 8 times. Every single one of these bows I did today, I did the smaller of the kind that I normally do, and I wrapped it around my hands 8 times. Every bow today that I've done in this style is 8 times around your fingers. And then using the same jute that I tied the ribbon with, I'm tying that jute bow onto the front of our ribbon bow. So essentially I've got like 3 bows on this thing. So it's got a lot of depth. And the tails I'm leaving on, I'm not cutting them. They are like the perfect length. And then after I'm done fluffing and messing and fussing, we're going to glue it down. We're going to put on just a little bit of hot glue and a little bit of wood glue. I don't know if the wood glue makes a difference, but I figured hot glue doesn't usually stick to wood very easily. So even though the ribbon is made out of like a burlap or a canvas, I got a little bit of hot glue in there and it just kind of makes things better. So put a little bit of wood glue and hot glue around the sides. And our bunny bow is done. Look how cute she is. I mean, you could put anything in there at this point. It's just cute with the dang bow. You could take everything out of that crate and just put the bow on it. There's something about ribbon. That's probably why I hoard it so much. It just makes me happy. And that's what we're looking at so far. So now we're going to add our Amazon carrots. Now this is a bag of 50. I had a bigger idea that's just not going to happen this year because it's too late. And then that's a bag of either 8 or 10 of fabric carrots. So I went out and I got some toothpicks from my kitchen. And in order to stick it in the styrofoam that's in the bottom of that crate, I got to stick a Q-tip. I have to stick a toothpick in each one of those little baby carrots. So I'm just gluing in toothpicks into the baby carrots at different angles, different sides. And one of them I took the green off and I'm putting the carrot in upside down so it looks like it's sticking up the pointy part out of the dirt, not dirt, but the moss there, the Spanish moss. So It's kind of like a little garden crate. I'm not sure what you would call this. I don't know exactly what it is for sure, but it just makes me happy. And then for these fabric carrots, I chose to go with the orange plaid ones or the orange buffalo check ones because they made me happy, and they're going to be sticking out on the side. They have little jute hangers on them, like they're meant to be in a garland or as an ornament. So I cut the jute twine off. I'm also using a toothpick on these as well, and I'm just sticking the toothpick into the seam on the fabric with a little bit of hot glue. And then we're going to push these toothpicks down into the styrofoam that's inside of our crates, and just tiny bits of glue. There's not so much glue here that you wouldn't be able to take these things out and change them should you choose. Just remember, the amount of glue you want to use just means how permanent the project is. If you want to change your, theme or your colors, or even if you want to use this for other holidays or different times of the year, you pick how much glue you use. If you don't want to use any, then by all means don't. Nobody should be picking up anything and like tossing it around, Like I try to say is most of my decorations and my decor is not in what you call a quote unquote high traffic area. Nobody's going to be walking around and sticking their fingers in it. And if they do, you have to seriously question who you're letting in your house that's sticking their fingers in all of your decor. And now I'm just going to start randomly placing the carrots in just wherever I feel happy, wherever they make me happy. So you're going to see them twisting left and right, pushing them up and down, moving them around, and you're just going to watch this little crate come to life. Oh, look at that. Isn't it so cute? Again, I don't really know what you would call this, but in any event, I call it happy. Look how cute it is. There's a couple sticking with their little pointies sticking out, and the bow. It's just, everything just screams cuteness. I love this spring stuff, man. Every single one of these little spring projects is making me happy. You guys let me know what you did in the comment with yours. Did anybody grab any of these from Target this year? Do anything with them? It's called a charcuterie board. Alright, so our next project is going to use the other part of my crochet eggs I made. Now this little metal bucket that you saw briefly for 5 seconds, I got at Target Dollar Spot probably a year ago. And here I'm going to put some styrofoam in it. That's Dollar Tree styrofoam. I was just trying to see if this piece that was already pre-cut fit in it, thinking I'd be able to get it back out. Yeah, no, I can't get that back out unless I really rip it apart with my fingers. So that styrofoam isn't getting glued in because it doesn't need to be. Now, these are kitchen skewers or food, skewers for shish kebabs. I'm going to take my Waverly Antique Wax and I'm going to basically stain them because they are a natural wood, and I don't want the light wood color. I don't want it to look like a dowel or a stick. I want it to look like maybe a branch or a tree trunk, because eggs grow on trees and branches. You didn't know? We're going to make a topiary, guys. We're going to make all these little eggs look like they have some leaves around them with some green ribbon, and they're going to look like cute little egg flowers, because all of that makes sense, right? And I mean, what is crafting? Crafting is make-believe, stuff that makes you happy. So here we go again with our reliable Hobby Lobby Spanish moss. It is the perfect color. So I grabbed a bundle and I'm kind of working it with my hands into a circle, almost kind of thinking I'm going to make like a bird's nest out of it, so it kind of circles in on itself. Then we're going to attach it and glue it down to our styrofoam that's in there. We're also going to be putting those skewers in there, so that will help secure it down too. But this is to cover all the behind the scenes because nobody needs to see styrofoam. Friends, do not let friends' styrofoam show. Tell your friends. So now that the bucket is ready, and you know what? Shocker, I didn't have to paint it, but guess what color the bucket is? Do you guys see a pattern? What's going on? So I'm going to take my skewers that we put the wax on, and I'm going to shimmy them into the bottom of the eggs, or it can go in any one of the holes just to kind of make it even. And then once I get it in as far as I think it should go, I'm going to put a dab of hot glue. We're going to take this satin ribbon that I got at Michael's many years ago. You can get that satin ribbon in the ribbon aisle. It's like the constant, not the seasonal stuff, but it's the stuff that's in the ribbon aisle, the permanent ribbon aisle. It's a very thin, it used to be like $1. Actually, some of them used to be 50 cents. I don't even know how much they cost anymore because I haven't bought that ribbon for ages because I have so much of it. But I'm using this light leafy lime green because it looks like leaves, in my opinion, like little, almost like a tulip. It's like eggs that look like tulips, and then my satin ribbon is going to be the leaves. But at least that's how my brain's justifying it. But here you see me do the second one, put the skewer in the bottom. I'm putting the flat part in the egg, and I'm going to use the sharp part to put into the styrofoam, even though I'm cutting most of those down. But I didn't want to put the sharp part in the egg because if you ever put your hand on it and squish it, you're going to end up shish kebabbing your own hand through all the, you know, the polyfill and the crochet. So use the flat side. Yeah, don't get too violent with your crocheted eggs. But I did all 5 of them like this, so there's securing just with a little bit more hot glue, and that also keeps the satin bow from coming undone. So it helps you out in the long run as well. Then you're not constantly trying to retie bows when they come undone. So here all 5 eggs are done, and I'm gonna just try to arrange them in different heights. I want the purple one to be the tallest, so I'm not going to cut this dowel, or sorry, I'm not going to cut this food skewer. I'm going to leave this. The rest of these you're going to see me just arrange them in different heights. Unfortunately, because of the angle of the camera, you can't see how I'm doing it, but I am going to kind of lay it flat so you can see it towards, yeah, so you see how I'm trying to get them heights different and they're lower. Plus the eggs are all different sizes because the yarn was different weights. Some of it was worsted, some of it was thicker, some of it was thinner. But in any event, this little, I guess it's not really a topiary because topiaries is one single branch with a ball of some sort of leaves or foliage or flowers on top. So this is basically an egg arrangement, but I still wanted it to be topiary-like, I guess. I don't know. I probably am not making any sense right now, but what difference does it make? We're all mad here. So last one, little orange guy, is going to go down. Needs to be the shortest one. That way it makes my eyes happy. Makes me happy everywhere. So we're going to glue that one in. And then what I'm going to do here is I was going to add ribbon around the whole base of it, but I ran out of my little decorative ribbon there. I'm going to use the green satin ribbon again. Look how cute she is. So you could leave it like that and not put any more ribbon in the base, but you know, I'm extra, so we got to go a little bit crazy with some more ribbon. So the decorative ribbon I have has Easter eggs on it. I got it at Michael's a long time ago. Haven't seen it forever, but then again, I haven't been looking either. So I twisted it around my hand. I'm going to make a bow out of it. Once I cut the ribbon, and I like the size bow that I have. See, I'm doing that little awareness ribbon thing, twisting in the middle. Once I cut it, I'm going to cut another strand of the same length. So you'll see me use it as a template, pull them out, and then I'm cutting 2 more. It's also the fastest way to do it, so I've got 4 strands of ribbons. Was going to make a 3rd and a 4th, but then, oh yeah, no Whitney, you can't. This is a very short spool of decorative ribbon that you got many moons ago. So here you'll see me make 2 more. Here again, we're going to do the pattern. I'm going to show you how it's easiest. So loop it together, kind of just cross it on itself so it goes into that awareness ribbon shape. And then we're going to take the middle piece and squish it down to the cross and pinch it. Tie a piece of pipe cleaner around it, twist it in back, and then cut it off with your wire cutters. And now the stem that we left on the back with of pipe cleaner, I'm going to use that as the pick. So that's going to help me push it down into the styrofoam with a little bit of hot glue, and now you have your own little added bow. So here's the second one if you want to watch it again. And again, you guys can slow this down. I think that YouTube gives you the chance to slow down the video should you need to, so you can see things slower. But once you get the hang of this, it's so easy that it goes so quickly. Of course, I've sped this up for time, which still doesn't matter because this video is like an hour long, but what was I thinking? So I've got my 2 bows. I'm just going to put them towards the front. I didn't plan on this being a front side, back side. I wanted it to be a centerpiece, but again, the eggs are facing a certain way, so now I only have the 2 ribbons. I still love the way this turns out. Once I get the bows placed inside the Spanish moss, I take a bit of, one of the skewers that I had left over, and I'm pushing it down further. And as I push them down, they're going deeper into the styrofoam. It makes the ribbon itself, it no longer looks like a perfect bow with like the loops and the tails. You're going to see in a second once I finish this one. I'll show you guys and I slow it down. The ribbons look like their own little like explosion of happiness. Like almost like party confetti or streamers coming out of the bottom of it. Look how cute it is. I just love it. It's happiness. Happiness in a little bucket. What do you guys think of this idea with these crochet eggs? I mean, the other one was just literally setting them in a tray, but this one I turned them into like a little flower arrangement. Tell me what you guys think, and what would you do with crochet eggs if you ever had any? Or if you were able to buy some or make some yourself, what would you guys do with them? I think this is absolutely cute. And again, it's a brighter color. It's just absolute happy. Just makes you happy. Okay, so I think this is my second to last, or my actually second to last, I'm not sure. This little box came from Michael's, right by the registers. It was $1. I'm taking the hanger and the hardware off of it. And we're going to make a cute little Easter artwork display. So, guess what color I'm going to paint it? It's been a theme this whole video. Take a guess. That is correct. It is blue. You guys are right. No, I'm kidding. No, we did white. Shocker. And yes, you all get to pass go. You all get to collect $200. I'll meet you at Park Place. Monopoly reference. I'm literally tired, guys. I'm sorry. I'm making the most dumb jokes right now. Again, this was my second time recording all the voice recording for this video, because the other time I wasn't actually recording. I was just talking to myself in my office. It was great. Anyways, this is the same I used on the previous project. It is the Craft Smart Silver Gray, and I am going at it with no rhyme or reason. And also, you don't have to do the inside like I'm doing right now, because by the time we're done with this, you're not going to see any of it. We're going to fill this in with some pretty stuff. So there's what it looks like when it's dry. Now, has anybody seen those Dollar Tree calendars? Because I have never had one. The artist that does them, her name is Jennifer. I don't know how to say her last name. It's either Pugh or Pug or Puff or something. It's P-U-G-H. She has absolute gorgeous artwork, and I love it. So I went to her Etsy store and I purchased her artwork. Now she sent me this with this cardboard in it, and so I'm going to use our little Easter. These are this was a 4x4, I think, holiday package I got. You can see there where it says something set 4x4 set. So I got the benefit of picking my sizes and picking my graphics that I wanted. And her prices are absolutely affordable. They're amazing. And again, I am a true fan of her work. So again, support small business, support the artist. She's living her dream right now. She's having a great time. Her Etsy shop is she just actually had a sale. I missed the sale, but I'm not upset about it. But again, I have lots there. I have a lemon thing planned, and you guys saw me flip through those. You're going to see those. The lemon stuff showing up again in a video down the road. I got a big lemon thing and a big sunflower thing planned, and you guys are going to love it. So this particular piece of cardstock that I'm cutting out now, I'm going to glue our graphic to it because it is on paper. It's not on like anything hard, and I want our bunny picture to stand up almost like a 3D effect up out of the center of our wooden box. So this cardstock that my purchase was mailed to me in to keep it, safe in the mail is actually working for me because I'm going to cut it and I'm going to glue our graphic to it. So this actually worked out for me because I was looking at regular cardboard and the corrugated cardboard was hideous, and I was very worried that it was going to show the ripples. But anyways, wood glue. It works for me. I put wood glue on there. I smooth it out with my finger. It doesn't wrinkle. It's not Mod Podge. I have a thing. I don't like Mod Podge. I have not had good experiences with it, so I don't use it. But rub that graphic down. I get a perfect what's the word? Adhesion. I'm getting a good spread. Anyways. And then I took 4 little cubes from Dollar Tree. These are their wooden cubes. You can also use those tumbling tower blocks or just kind of like pile up some thicker cardboard in the middle. You just need to basically raise your graphic up above. You want it taller because we're going to fill this in with, drum roll, wait for it. Come on, hurry up. Let's go. That's right. My Hobby Lobby bright green Spanish moss. This turned out, it was just a flyby idea, because at first I was just going to leave it and then put a bow and some eggs in there. But I was like, let me put some more Spanish moss in this, guys. Now I'm going to fill these edges in. It's a bit tedious, and it is so messy. So messy. Love-hate relationship with Spanish moss. Love the way it looks. Love how it makes projects look very farmhouse, makes them look very spring, very green, or at the fall time. Spanish moss makes anything with acorns or pumpkins look absolutely gorgeous. But I despise how much it sheds. And I'm constantly cleaning my workspace. So you can see the idea kind of took shape right there. But then you also see me constantly cleaning up my desktop. I do that all the time. I fussed with this Spanish moss so much, you guys have no idea how much of it I cut out of the actual video. I cut so much out that I was like, I can't believe I recorded myself doing it this long. probably why my video is so long this time. These 6 projects probably should have been 2 videos, but I dragged my feet and I waited too long. Anyways, back to our beautiful little girl here. So once you fill in all your Spanish moss, we're going to add hot glue to all 4 of those little squares there, and we're going to tuck our graphic in perfectly. And then here's where the fussing begins. So I'm going to cut off some pieces, which that created way more stuff popping out of it, and me tapping it and cleaning it out and tapping it and cleaning it out. But look how cute it is by itself, just like that. Like you could leave it like that and have a great day. But of course, I'm adding more. So I grabbed some more of that carrot ribbon that we used on our previous project. I cut just a piece. I didn't measure it. I dovetailed the ends. Couldn't tell you why. I usually don't dovetail ribbon that thin. I did the whole awareness ribbon style piece, squished it in the middle, or gathered it in the middle, tied a jute around it, and then I'm tucking it in the top corner. Just adding a small bow. I'm very proud of myself for not going way too crazy on some of these bows. It's kind of not my normal, and I'm really loving that I'm kind of doing different things. Now that pick right there, I got at Michael's many years ago. I don't use it, but it keeps us company this whole video. I guess I decided at some point that I really didn't want to put more yellow into it, but you'll see me pick it up like 75 more times, or at least 74 and a half more times. So this little bag of eggs I got at Hobby Lobby the year before last, and I'm just wanting to use more of a cream color, or maybe even the stony color, and I'm messing around with a lot of it, and I wanted the egg to lay flat, but it wouldn't. So I kind of cut diagonally off of the bottom of one of them, and I'm trying to show you guys here. It's a little diagonal, I could say, and it just worked out perfect. So I cut that piece off, and I made it fit where I wanted it to. So I won, domino. And you could do that with any of your stuff, guys. If it won't lay flat, you have something that's rounded, just try cutting it with some scissors. Now, I probably should have used an X-Acto knife or even a box cutter, but it got the job done. And then later towards the end here, I'm fussing with that, messing around with the Spanish moss again. Later on, you're going to see me tuck some more Spanish moss around that egg, so it kind of will hide a little bit of it. It's kind of a Spanish moss issue I've had. I added more to this sign, and I'm very glad that I did. So as much as I mess with it, and as much as I joke around and I'm like almost complaining about it, I'm very happy with how this turned out, to the point where it's like, it's so cute that it just makes me happy. And sometimes if it brings you your own happiness, then it doesn't matter how you got there, or how it happened, or who told you about it, or how you saw it, because it's basically the best part of it. If your own creations make you happy, or they make somebody else happy, then it really doesn't matter. Nothing else matters how you got there. Here's me adding some more Spanish moss. Again, I'm very happy I did. When you guys see the close-up of the end product, you have to tell me what you think. The Spanish moss was a last-minute idea because I was just going to have it floating there with some ribbons and eggs. I am so happy about this. Let me know if you guys try this too. And if you have such a problem with the Spanish moss as I do, but it might be just because I'm a complete neat freak. Like, I don't, I like things to be in their places. Like, I'm constantly like wiping things off, and before I start the next project, this one has to be clean first. Yeah, doesn't usually work that way. But with Spanish moss, I just love the outcome so much that I can't help but use it. So you're going to see me mess with it some more, and then I'm adding it to the bow. I'm going to add it to the bottom side of the egg, so you don't see just like the egg hitting the graphic or hitting the artwork. You want to kind of soften that edge, soften that hard. There, you see right there. And in order to get the glue in there, I'm putting it on the end of my dotting tool, and then I'm going to kind of squish it in there, and then I put the moss in there with my silicone spatula. And that's the best way, because if you just put your hot glue in there, you're going to get a big glob of glue, and then you're either going to burn yourself or you're going to ruin your artwork. So find another way to like apply a very small amount of glue. And then tap, 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 Whitney. Keep tapping at it. Look how cute. Oh, makes me so happy. See, the way the moss kind of curls around it, and it's all squiggly. Makes me happy. It's probably because my lack of greenery. I live in the desert. This makes me absolutely happy, and I can't explain why. I mean, obviously I've been explaining for like what, almost 55 minutes now. I've been explaining everything. Okay, last but not least, this is like a freebie because all I'm doing is tying ribbon around its neck. Cute little glass, like almost a glass sugar jar, a glass sugar dish. Like, remember the chickens from back in the day? I've talked about this before on my channel. those sugar chickens, or it's like a chicken from a long ago. My sister has a blue one, my grandma had a yellow one or a red one. Everybody had one in the family. I couldn't help but buy it because it reminded me of my grandma's chickens. So I love it. It's almost like a milky glass too. It's a very clouded white glass, and I didn't know exactly how I was going to add this ribbon, but also since green is my favorite color. I love pink, guys, but green is my favorite color. Especially this like leafy fern lime green is my favorite. I love decorating in it. Thought that I would just tie a shoelace bow, but yeah, no. We have to be what again? Extra. And I'm not talking about the chewing gum, man. A little bit too much here. I tied this finger bow like 50 times, but this one is the best recording I have. So this is real time. You're going to hold between your thumb and your ring finger. You're going to twist it around all of your fingers, and then you're going to go in and out of your index and ring finger 2 times. You're going to push the tail through your 2 fingers or your finger pit, and then you're going to wrap it around the piece that you just folded over. This is not the one that I put on the actual bunny because I dropped it. But you will see me once you take it off your fingers here. Of course, I do the Chinese finger trap, those toys you used to play. So here's another one that I made. We're going to cut the tails off. And the trick is, with most of the ones, I just practice. I had an extra piece of ribbon with me. I would take it everywhere I went. If I was watching a movie, or not a movie, but if I was watching TV or having a conversation, talking with friends on the phone, if I went to a doctor's office or I was sitting in the car, I had a piece of ribbon with me. I am actually looking at it right here on my desk. And I practice and practice and practice with it. And I got better at it. That's the best way I can tell you, because I know a lot of you have messaged me and saying that you just can't grasp the finger bows, but they're so cute. I agree. I could not grasp them either. I spent a lot of time practicing, and even then I'm still not that good at it. I dropped that bow like 5 times. Again, I cut a lot of it out so you guys didn't have to sit through and watch it. And then I just put a little bit of hot glue on it, glued it to the bunny, cut some more tails, and look how cute it is. It's so cute. You guys let me know in the comments what you would do. Pretty much everything is I call a freebase, just add ribbon to it. It makes a huge difference. I mean, you could put purple on here, you could put pink on here, blue, anything that matches your theme or your decor. And it's temporary. I mean, that glue, you could pull that right off, save the finger bow, tie a different color around its neck, and you're ready to go for whatever season. Again, if you like bunnies, you got to keep bunnies out, but I don't think bunnies should just be for Easter anyways. You guys, if you're still with me, thank you so much for staying this long, for supporting me, and just making everything so much better. I've loved every second of being back making these videos, and you guys have helped me more than you could possibly know. We all have so much in common, it's crazy. And here's all 6 of our beautiful girls together. I love how much fun all of these were. Like, I didn't even realize I had been recording for so long, and even my little hiccup here with not recording my voice at the right time doesn't even make me upset, because I'm looking at these things and I'm remembering how much fun I had making them. I hope you guys try some of these and have as much fun as I did. Let me know, share in the comments. Everything you guys do is wonderful. Now, I have a coffee page here. Donations are always appreciated but never required. So if you have the ability to, feel free to buy me a coffee, and that helps anything out. But if you can't, your presence, watching, subscribing, liking, all of it is more than appreciated, and it helps my channel get recognized and suggested, and it helps me grow. So thank you so much for spending this time with me, spending your day with me, and I look forward to the next video. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care of yourselves and each other. Hugs and happy crafting, and I love you, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.